everyone, and welcome to Porch Step Live. I hope you're having a great week. Thank you for spending some time with us this afternoon. As you can see, we got our new set built. I want to thank Dylan and Eddie Speaks for coming and putting that together. We're really excited about shooting in here moving forward, so thank you to them for getting that put together for us. So, as you know, today is April 15th. That should ring a bell. It's tax day. However, it is not tax day. They actually moved it back to July 15th this year because of the coronavirus and everything else. So don't worry, you can stay with us here. You don't have to go scramble and get your taxes done. But typically this is the U.S. tax day. And so because of that, we wanted to bring you some historical reference around the day and also some facts to entertain you. So today is actually not a U.S. holiday. So you can put away your party hats and everything else. It's actually not a very celebratory day in general. They say only accountants and Uncle Sam like tax day. But it did go all the way back to the Civil War. That is when it started. It was the 1861 Revenue Act that enacted federal income tax in order to raise money for the war. So it dates back years, but obviously since then it's changed dramatically. It's gotten a lot more complicated. The tax code books now are huge, and so it's a lot different than it was back then. It was designed to raise money for the war. You may be thinking when you're at work, how many of my days go toward paying my taxes? Well, in 2014, they figured that out. They estimated that around 111 of your work days then would cover your taxes. So as you're at work throughout all of those days, all of that was going to your federal income taxes. It's a little depressing. So let's bring it up with maybe a funny fact. We found a poll online that showed that 1 in 4 Americans would tattoo IRS on their body in order to not pay taxes. I think I know where they put that tattoo, but I'm not going to say it right now. But they did say 1 in 4 Americans would tattoo themselves in order to avoid paying taxes. So not a very fun day. And I'll leave you with a quote from Richard Nixon. He says, "You may want to think about paying your taxes, otherwise you might be in trouble." So very straight to the point, but make sure you get those done by July 15th. You've got some extra time this year. So let's ditch tax day. Let's move on to something a little more exciting. We did our weekly scan around the country for some of our favorite stories, and we found some great ones we wanted to share with you today. So with that, let's jump into some of our stories. We're going to go all the way to England. An English World War II veteran who has been walking laps around his back garden has raised over £5 million for the NHS in just 1 week. 99-year-old Tom Moore says the NHS have been marvelous in helping him recover from his hip replacement surgery as well as his skin cancer on his head over the past couple of years. So to say thank you, he got on his feet, has been doing laps around his 25-meter long or 82-foot garden with the aim of walking 100 links by his 100th birthday on April 30th. After hitting international headlines last week, however, Moore has quickly smashed through his target and has now raised over millions for frontline health workers fighting the coronavirus. To be able to even walk at 99 is an accomplishment in itself, but to be doing what he's doing is incredible. Thank you, Tom Moore, for all of that. Moving on to a young grocery store employee named Elizabeth Taylor, who had just finished up ringing up a boy named McKeel at the checkout when he was distressed to find himself $33 short of his final $173 bill. After explaining the dilemma, he went to go put some items back on the shelf, but before he could, she simply insisted on paying for all of his groceries instead. She said it looked like a bunch of essential items, and she thought, you know what, I'm going to take care of it. So that was excellent, and I think what we'd love to see is these acts of kindness are happening at the level of celebrities and famous people, as well as just for everyday people, just like the guy we saw who was filling up gas for healthcare workers in our last show. Moving on to Canada. As a means of entertaining lonely adults during the novel coronavirus outbreaks, a team of Canadian high schoolers created a hotline that plays pre-recorded messages of positivity. Joy for All project was launched by students from the Everactive Schools Recreational Leadership Program run by the Calgary Board of Education. The youngsters say they created the free hotline as a means of comforting quarantined seniors across North America. However, people of all ages are encouraged to dial 1-877-JOY 4ALL 1-877-JOY for All in order to enjoy the regularly updated selection of jokes, stories, guided meditations, and educational messages. You have to love seeing young people caring for and thinking about the elderly and the senior citizens during this time. As you've seen, a lot of the stores have opened up senior hours to make it easier for them and safer for them. So great story out of Canada there. We've been trying to push to everyone to take advantage of this time. Try that project you've been pushing off. Work toward that goal you've been wanting to accomplish. And we see it here in California from Ben Ramirez. Rather than twiddling his thumbs in self-isolation, This aspiring San Francisco barista has been making free coffee for essential workers passing by his window. Prior to the coronavirus shutdowns across California, Ben has been taking barista classes with the hopes of eventually opening up his own coffee shop. Since Ramirez has been forced to stay inside his home on Pfeiffer Street, he decided to use his abundance of brewing supplies and ingredients to make free coffee for mailmen, hospital staffers, and other essential workers walking past his window. Ramirez is careful to maintain social distancing guidelines by using a toy gorilla arm that he borrowed from his son to pass the coffee to the visitors. That must be a big toy. The arm is at least 6 feet long, but we won't check in on that. But thank you to Ben Ramirez. That's an awesome way of pushing toward a goal and trying to realize a dream of opening up his own coffee shop. Staying in that topic, we wanted to share with you a message that we saw this past weekend from a sermon from Michael Todd from the Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He called his sermon Secure the Bag, but it was really referring to stewarding things in your life such as finances, relationships, your work, goals, other things. And we thought his message really hit home and can be used as some inspiration during this time. So let's take a look.
And most of us, we want it to be something that's fair, even though we squandered the last season that God gave us. Even though the last opportunity we didn't do what we were supposed to do. Maybe we should be all on the same level, but God is a good master. And I need you to understand this. The next season of ability is going to depend on the last season of responsibility. Ooh, that's a good word right there. The next season of ability is going to depend on the last season of responsibility. How did you steward over the last year? How did you steward over the people that you have under your leadership? How did you steward over the $50.62 that you got from that job last week? And many times we don't count it as anything. And so we're like, I don't have to really do anything with that. But the master's watching your ability. He's watching how you handle what he's placed in your hand. And he's saying this next level is going to be based on how you were responsible with the last level. So write this point down. God knows what you can handle because he's watching how you handle.
Thank you to Michael Todd for that message. I just can't stress enough of how you handle this time is going to impact how you come out into the next season. And so whatever you're doing right now to prepare yourself for when life returns to normal, which we hope it is sooner than later, is going to be how quickly you accelerate into that stage. So whatever you can do in your relationships, your work, your health, your family, anything like that, really use this time so that when we go back to normal, you can catapult into whatever it may be that you're doing. So thank you to Michael Todd for that message. I hope you enjoyed that. And so with that, we wanted to get to our category for today. The category is shopping. And I know it's a big withdrawal for a lot of us, not being in the stores and being able to shop from the shelves. A lot of us are doing it online. So we wanted to give you a few memes that we found that we thought were pretty funny, which is probably how a lot of you are feeling during this time. So let's take a look at the first one. This is when you're online shopping and you see $25 with $5 in shipping versus just $30 in free shipping. $30 in free shipping sounds pretty good, huh? Well, it's the same price, so it doesn't really matter, but that's how a lot of us feel when we're online shopping, getting duped by the latest deal or whatever it may be. Even when you're on your phone trying to buy an app, 99 cents feels like a down payment. So it's funny how we perceive the prices online when we're shopping. The next one is, and I know a lot of you are like this, peeking through your blinds, is when you see the mailman pull up with your delivery. You're probably waiting for the FedEx and UPS guy every day with your boxes and boxes of Amazon shopping that you've done. So that's how probably a lot of you are looking during this time, peeking through the blinds, waiting for your delivery. And the last one is how a lot of us feel, probably even worse when we're working from home, but it says, I'm most productive at work when I'm online shopping. I know we're all up on our computer, both hands on the desks, clicking away. It probably looks like we're very busy when in reality we're just adding on to our shopping withdrawals. So we hope you enjoyed those memes. But also, before we get to our trivia, we want to refresh you on some facts from some major retailers and just other shopping facts in general. So let's take a look at those. Starting with the average mall shopper. The average mall shopper stays for 80 minutes and spends $75 each visit. So as you're pulling around the parking lot, looking for a parking space and you can't find one, just go ahead and start doing the math. $75 per car. Don't want to waste too much money shopping? Go to the mall in high heels. Just for females here, hopefully. A 2013 BYU study discovered that shoppers in high heels made more balanced buying decisions while balancing in pumps. So I guess the less comfortable you are, the less comfortable you are in purchases. The Walmart CEO says that in the first week of April, the company alone sold enough toilet paper in just 5 days for every American to have at least one roll. Share a square. Approximately 42% of U.S. consumers use Amazon as their primary gift buying destination. I think that's only going to increase in the next few years. Estimates say that consumers will make 95% of purchases online by 2040. 95%. So say goodbye to the brick and mortars in 2040. Costco is actually one of the largest pizza chains in the U.S. with over 700 locations and therefore food courts. Costco is considered the 14th largest pizza chain in the country. It's technically bigger than California Pizza Kitchen and nearly as large as CC's. So when you have that slice of pizza as you're shopping at Costco, know that you are buying it from the 14th largest pizza chain in the country. The Mall of America near Minneapolis, Minnesota, has over 500 stores and draws 40 million visitors each year. It is so big it has its own zip code. However, it does not have a heating system. It relies on the heat from the lighting, the sunroof, and all of the body heat from the people inside. So their electricity bill is a lot lower than it probably would be without that. Old Navy was deliberately designed to operate like a grocery store. Think about it. Most Old Navy stores feature cement floors, metal shelving, and checkout counters that make it feel a lot like the environment and layout for the majority of grocery stores around. They even have shopping carts. This is all for a reason. The marketing team had the idea that if they set up the aisles in that manner, that they could also stock a decent array of items near the checkout line so people would see them while they're waiting for their turn to pay for their purchases, therefore throw it in the cart. The Dubai Mall is the largest mall in the world by total area with over 1,124,000 square meters in size. In other words, it is equivalent to 50 full-size soccer fields while housing 1,200 individual stores. It is huge. Target knows if you're pregnant, even if your family doesn't. Sounds a little weird. A company employee tipped off the New York Times Magazine in 2012 that data analytics obtained from shopping could be sorted to assess whether a shopper is pregnant, using their transaction history, seeing things like unscented lotions, supplements like calcium and zinc. They were able to identify that and could even make a reasonable estimate of when a customer is due to send them coupons tailored for their needs. So watch out, Target, but it's also probably nice if they know what you like because you can get there faster and for a lot of you, get more of it. The iconic New York City street, Fifth Avenue, is considered to be the most expensive shopping street in the world, with storefronts like Cartier, Tiffany & Company, Versace, Armani, Gucci, and many other high-end retailers. So we're looking at a little more than $75 a head, like the standard mall when you're on Fifth Avenue. So those are some fun facts to get you thinking in the methodology of what we're going to see today in our trivia game. So without further ado, it's game time. All right, so we are ready for game time. If this is your first time here or whether or not, we want to make sure you're on the right device for this. So if you're watching live on your phone right now on YouTube Live, we're going to need you to go to the URL that you see on screen. It's porchstep.live. So you'll hop off of the YouTube feed and you'll go to the game feed at www.porchstep.live. If you're watching from your computer, you can just create a new window and go to PorchStep Live on your computer, or you can get on your phone and go to porchstep.live there. So if you have your desktop with you, you can stay on YouTube and play the game on your phone. But if you're watching on your phone, I want you to go to the porchstep.live. As you're doing that, I want to refresh you on the rules. To get points, you do have to answer correctly. So incorrect answer, no points. Correct answer, you've got a maximum of 500, but it's going to dwindle from there. So if you answer it 17 seconds left, you're going to have around 400 points. If you answer with 8 seconds left, you might have around 200. So the faster you answer, the more points you're going to get. The third rule, have fun. That's the most important rule. We're playing for $25 today, so make sure you're paying attention. I hope those facts help you start thinking about some of the retailers, some of the things we might ask. I don't know if there were any hints in there, but I guess we will find out. So again, if you're on your phone, you're playing along with the game, if you're watching us still on your desktop, we're going to provide some facts throughout the game. So without further ado, let's get started. It's going to be question 2 on your phones. We're pulling it up now. This iconic image is the logo for what retail giant? You'll see the image there. This should be a cakewalk for a lot of us. What makes this company's logo so snappy? Research shows 3 things. A clean design. Minimalist logo is easy to spot from afar. A circle shape. Symmetry creates a harmonious composition. Positive associations, both the company name and its visual symbol, transcend the idea of success and prosperity. So, you all know this logo as D, Target. It is the Target logo. You've seen it on the dog as well. Very recognizable logo and a lot of your favorite places to shop. Moving on to question number 3. The corporate offices for discount retailer Walmart are located in this city. Is it A, Los Angeles, California, B, Miami, Florida, C, Tulsa, Oklahoma, D, Bentonville, Arkansas, or E, Hoffman Estates, Illinois? More than 1,100 companies that conduct business with this company have established sales offices in or near this city, resulting to a large influx of new residents relocating to the city. Malik Monk, currently playing for the NBA Charlotte Hornets, played high school basketball in this city. In 1950, this person opened his 5 and 10 store on the town square. Visitors can walk through and learn how this humble little store led to the creation of the world's largest retailer and the attached Walmart Museum. It is located in D, Bentonville, Arkansas. Bentonville, Arkansas. So we're going to take a quick look at the leaderboard to see where you stand during this time. We will show the leaderboard throughout the game, so you can always use that as your reference, but we've got plenty of questions left. So let's jump into number 4. Selling for $14.83, a broken laser pointer was the first item to be sold on this website in 1995. Is it A, eBay, B, Amazon, C, Groupon, D, Etsy, or E, Target? When some parts that they needed for various equipment stopped being manufactured, NASA used this store to find what they needed. The store was originally called Auction Web. Warren Buffett has auctioned off a lunch date with himself for the past 17 years in a row. 2016, the 6-day auction ended at a whopping $3.4 million, with the proceeds going to charity, of course. He did it on this website, eBay. eBay. Moving on to question number 5. With 1.1 million square feet of selling space and known to be the largest department store in the world, this store takes up an entire block of New York City real estate. Is it A, Walgreens, B, Macy's, C, Walmart, D, Tiffany's, or E, H&M? The first store, shocking the stells with its fancy dry goods, opened its doors as early as 1858. It started in New York City on the famous corner of 14th Street and 6th Avenue. The store now operates in 45 states and has 810 locations spread across these states. You see it at many malls in the country. It is B, Macy's. And obviously you know that they sponsor the Thanksgiving Day Parade, track scores of people every year. First held in 1924, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. So, take another look at the leaderboard. We're 4 questions through. Like I said, you'll see this periodically through the game. This is your reference for how you're doing. It'll also be your reference for if you need to speed up and answer some of these questions faster. With that, we hope you're doing well. Let's move on to question number 6. Introduced in 1992, Kirkland Signature is this store's private label, which gets its namesake from the original headquarters in Kirkland, Washington. Is it A, Sam's Club, B, Costco, C, the Home Depot, D, Kroger, or E, Best Buy? Cost of living in Kirkland, Washington is extremely high compared to the national average. Home prices in Kirkland are averaging at around $424,700, while the national average is $175,700. Kirkland neighbors Woodinville, an area known for its wine country and is close to more than 100 wineries or tasting rooms. The company moved its headquarters from Kirkland to Issaquah, Washington in 1994. That company is B, Costco. B, Costco. That signature brand is very popular. Even the golf balls are well respected across the sport. So moving on to question number 7. Specializing in electronics and high-fidelity stereos, this store first opened in 1966 with the name Sound of Music, but changed to its current name in 1983. Is it A, Circuit City, B, Guitar Center, C, Best Buy, D, Office Depot, or E, Staples? This company won Forbes Company of the Year award in 2004. Official corporate vision is people, technology, and the pursuit of happiness. The name changed after a tornado struck one of its 9 existing stores, and the company started to advertise a sale to recoup as much of the losses as possible. Whatever the owner noticed was that not only people had flocked to the sale, but their attitude was much different dealing with the company employees. This company is known today as Best Buy. C, Best Buy. So take another look at the leaderboard. 6 questions through. You'll see if you're in the top 3 or below. Again, we have 4 questions left. Let's keep moving. Number 8. With its headquarters now in Mooresville, North Carolina, this home improvement giant had a very humble beginning when the store was founded in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Is it A, Sears, B, the Home Depot, C, Kmart, D, Ace, or E, Lowe's? North Wilkesboro is the home of the annual Brushy Mountain Apple Festival, which is held to celebrate the apple harvest in the nearby Brushy Mountains. Crowds of over 160,000 people usually attend the festival, and it is one of the largest single-day arts and crafts fairs in the southern United States. It also used to have a speedway there, which is now abandoned, but it held NASCAR races for 50 years. This company, which was founded in Wilkesboro, is E, Lowe's. E, Lowe's. All right. The next question, number 9. This company's mail order catalog was often referred to as the Consumer's Bible, but was discontinued in 1993. Is it A, JCPenney, B, Belk, C, Sears, D, Nordstrom, or E, Pottery Barn? This catalog has been around since 1893, originally set up as a mail order watch catalog. The company actually owned Encyclopedia Britannica. They offered it for sale through their catalog when they were still the owners during the era of 1920 through 1943. And this company is not doing so well today. See a lot of their locations torn down. It is C, Sears. C, Sears, but they were killing it at one time. So let's take a look at the leaderboard again. We got 2 questions left. 2 questions left. Hope you're doing well. I know a lot of these questions are familiar companies, so I bet a lot of you are doing pretty well, but definitely a few hard ones in there. Take a look, and with that, we will move on to second to last question. Number 10. With sales totaling more than $38 billion, the busiest online shopping day in the world occurred on this date in 2019. Was it January 1st, New Year's Day, November 11th, Singles Day, November 29th, Black Friday, December 2nd, Cyber Monday, December 24th, Christmas Eve? As a comparison, that is more than 2.5 times the U.S. sales of last year's Black Friday and Cyber Monday combined. That's going to give away, we're going to knock out 2 of those for you. But this is a very interesting answer. I think you're going to laugh when we reveal it. It happened on November 11th, Singles Day. Singles Day. So a lot of people were emotional shopping during that day. But it was on November 11th, Singles Day. So one more look at the leaderboard before we move into the last question. See where you stand. See if you've got a chance to upset the leader. Remember, the quicker you answer, the more points you're going to get. So with that, let's move on to number 11. Like casinos, shopping malls are intentionally designed to make people lose track of time, removing clocks and windows to present views of the outside world. This kind of scripted disorientation became popular in the 1950s and is known by what name? A, the Gruen transfer, B, Victor's concept, C, the Austrian advancement, D, the South Shore script, or E, the Dunham delusion. This is a tough one. This effect is the moment when customers enter a shopping mall or store and are surrounded by an intentionally confusing layout. They lose track of their original intentions, making consumers more susceptible to make impulse buys. The name comes from a guy named Victor, the last name Gruen. It is A, the Gruen transfer. He was the Austrian architect who conceived the first shopping mall in the 1950s as a way to give the suburbs a sense of community. Despite this fact, Gruen actually hated any tactic designed to manipulate customers into buying more and deeply regretted what the mall eventually became. That was a tough one to end on. So you'll see that the winner is, it'll pop up on your phones. Take a look. You're the winner of $25. We're going to reach out to you via email after this. So we'll get in contact with you. Congratulations, being the winner for the shopping trivia game. We will reach out to you shortly with your prize. Thank you for playing. And again, thanks for everyone for joining Porch Step Live. We really appreciate you spending your afternoon with us today. We will see you live again on Friday. But remember, keep sharing your stories with us. We want to keep populating them on our page. But again, we appreciate the community we have, and we'll continue to post content. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And with that, we will see you on Friday. Be there, 4:15.